After scouring through vast amounts of data to find a solution to one of India's greatest problems, something that could change the way you live, and sadly, why you may not survive past 45. Over the past 5 years, this is how many people have succumbed through this most horrific way to die. And what's worse, it has not only been happening over the last 5 years, it has been happening for decades. The last time we had a global crisis over a span of 5 years, we sadly lost this many people in India. And we jumped into action. Lockdowns, draconian social distancing norms, injectables, and yes, this. You guessed right. We are talking about fatalities from road traffic accidents. And yet, no one is bothered. Let's start with some figures. Indian roads account for 1,50,000 deaths yearly and about 5 lakh injuries, out of which 40% are grievous, meaning the person is permanently maimed, paralyzed, or never recovers. What is even more staggering to note is that 85% of fatal road traffic accidents occur in individuals below the age of 45. This number is astounding, especially if you consider India's total population under the age of 45. This would mean that during this lifetime, you have a 1 in 10 chance of dying to fatal accidents, and worse, a 1 in 8 chance of being permanently maimed or paralyzed in an accident. Putting these sets of data together, it means that you have a 1 in 5 chance to permanently be maimed or just cease to exist through the most horrific manner possible through your lifetime. These figures are unprecedented in a population which is otherwise expected to be healthy. There isn't any other disease or factor which even comes close to causing such harm in a younger population. It even costs our nation up to 3.1% of its GDP, and yet nothing of significance is done to control or drastically reduce this number. Nothing. Nisto. Nada. This video is not about stats and figures. It is about solutions, very unique solutions. But you require to have some context. Just going to jog through some data of the causes of fatalities due to road traffic accidents, which of course we are going to come back to a little later. The reality of the situation is that we live in a world where an average road looks like this. Patches that would tempt NASA to experiment with future moon landings. Brand new highways with higher speed limits with no basic safeties such as guardrails. Indians are wonderful people, but once they mount a vehicle, their egos begin growing exponentially. We just surge with entitlement. Everybody else be damned. Traffic rules are just guidelines, which you may follow as you see fit. Road signals are decorations and only good for looks. Police enforcement is non-existent and is up for sale to the highest bidder.
Do you personally see a solution to this? No, right? So that means we need something drastic. De-licensing. Yes, you heard right. De-license everyone holding a valid driving license. If we can demonetize or lock down, why not de-license? Issue everybody a provisional license for a year or 2 and allow them to reappear for revamped driving tests which are more stringent and in line to what is being done in developed nations. Which is a good segue to my next suggestion. Police reform. We have 2 branches of traffic working together. One is the licensing authority, the RTO, and the other is the traffic police. The RTO distributes vehicular licenses like bonbons. A failure to do their basic job on a grand scale. Therefore, the public at large feels that it is their right to drive and not a privilege. In short, a failure in a grand scale. Make the traffic police the sole licensing authority. This way, the enforcer, the regulator, and the licenser works under one roof, and organization would be much more easy and also more accountable. Dissolve the RTO as we know it. Absorb the staff under the traffic cell and replace them with road and civil engineers, which will be responsible for road design and execution. In this way, RTO would be now known as the Road Transport Organization instead of the Road Transport Office. And importantly, end the rule of providing tenders to the lowest bidder, which in reality translates to the highest commission. Instead, award the contracts to the most competent depending on past experiences. A point system could be established for the concerned contractors pan-India, similar to the one you have for your credit score.
Dad, really? Are you sure, Dad? Really?
He is actually right. Life in India has no value. No one, besides your loved ones, care if you're dead or alive. Nothing is going to change. It's each and every one for themselves. The fact is that you're going to meet with an accident 100%. All you can do is minimize the damage. Have a look at this. This is traffic at an average junction. Now let me speed it up by exactly 1.5 times. It's chaos, isn't it? Now, do you understand why there are traffic rules, however dumb they may seem? They bring a semblance of organization to the chaos. These rules are actually universal and are independent of which side you drive on. Look them up, learn them, and follow them like religion. Doesn't matter, no one else follows them. Care for your own vehicle first, and most importantly, yourself. Do not jaywalk, wear a seatbelt or a helmet when riding even pillion. If you look at the stats, you will realize that a large number of fatalities occur in both pedestrians and two-wheelers. And they might have been even lower in the four-wheelers if seatbelts were worn not only in the front, but in the rear seat as well. And last and not least, watch your speed. The number one cause of fatal deaths is not drunken driving, not bad roads, but overspeeding. It may feel ridiculous to have a speed limit of 90 on a huge broad road, but given the unpredictability of Indian roads, let's give benefit of doubt to the authorities. We after all have unforeseen potholes, unmarked speed breakers, and the occasional dog or cow who suddenly decide to cross the highway. In fact, I'd urge you to even stick well below the speed limit. All it would mean is you have to leave 5 minutes early on a daily commute. As we end this important one that I was looking to get off my chest, let me leave you with one fact. 80% of fatal accidents happen within 15 kilometers of the victim's home, also known as the close to home effect.